Creation has no spokesperson. Religion is culture, not source. By Rue. People need to understand something that has been blurred over centuries. Religions are cultures. They are systems created by human communities to interpret existence, organize values, and pass traditions from one generation to the next. Judaism is a culture. Christianity is a culture. Islam is a culture. Buddhism is a culture. Hinduism is a culture. Each carries languages, rituals, stories, symbols, and moral teachings shaped by the history of the people who practice them. But none of them can literally speak for creation itself. Imagine trying to speak for the wind. Imagine claiming to represent the ocean. Imagine declaring yourself the official interpreter of the sun. It sounds impossible because nature does not appoint representatives. The wind does not hold councils. The air does not vote for spokespeople. The ocean does not issue decrees. Yet, throughout history, humans have repeatedly claimed to speak on behalf of the universe itself. What actually happened is simpler. People observed the world around them and built narratives to explain it. Those narratives became traditions. Traditions became institutions, and institutions eventually claimed authority. Words were treated as if they were the source itself. But words are tools. They attempt to describe reality. They attempt to organize experience, yet they are not the reality they describe. Consider how universal creation actually behaves. When the sun rises, it does not choose favorites. It shines on forests, deserts, cities, believers, skeptics, animals, insects, every living thing. The air that fills your lungs is the same air that circulates through every ecosystem on Earth. It does not ask your religion before entering your body. The oceans do not separate waves based on ideology. The cycles of nature operate without preference or tribal allegiance. This universality reveals something important. Creation itself does not operate through exclusive identities. It operates through shared existence. And there is another realization that is easy to overlook. Wherever you stand on Earth, you are standing on ground that has existed since the planet formed. The soil beneath your feet is ancient. Every mountain, valley, and shoreline is connected to a timeline that stretches far beyond human memory. Every place on Earth that still exists was part of the beginning of Earth's history. So every human being is already standing on ancient ground, already linked to something older than any institution or doctrine. The moment any system claims to speak definitively for wind, air, oceans, or stars, it crosses from observation into authority. And that authority can become dangerous when it begins defining who is chosen, who is rejected, who is righteous, who is condemned. Historically, relative morality has often followed, laws and judgments shifting depending on which group holds power. Actions that benefit the dominant group become justified, while the same actions against that group become condemned. This flexibility allowed societies at different times to rationalize slavery, conquest, or violence, while believing themselves morally correct. Many thinkers have argued that a more universal ethical framework, one grounded in principles that apply equally to all humans, such as dignity, non-exploitation, and preservation of life, would reduce the ability of institutions to redefine harm as virtue. Such principles resemble what people sometimes call universal law, ethical boundaries that do not change depending on tribe, empire, or ideology. Recognizing religions as cultural systems does not mean dismissing their wisdom or the meaning they hold for their communities. Cultures carry poetry, philosophy, ethical reflection, and historical memory. They can inspire compassion, resilience, and purpose. But understanding their human origin allows people to distinguish between cultural interpretation and the larger processes of nature itself. The sun, the wind, the oceans, the forests, and the air do not belong to any doctrine. They are shared conditions of life. When we remember that, the conversation shifts from defending identities to understanding existence. And perhaps the most humbling realization is this: the universe does not need representatives, but human beings still need wisdom, responsibility, and care for one another as we interpret our place within it.